1 acre of Juncao grass can be able to feed 20 dairy cows ama 200 goats ama 200 sheep. So kama wewe farmer uko na 1 acre land yako, ukipanda Juncao uko na ile opportunity to feed your 20 dairy cows, to feed your 200 goats or to feed your 200 sheep. Juncao for 1 year you can be able to feed those 20 cows, those 200 goats. So if you're planning to expand, maybe say you have 40 dairy cows, at least you need a maximum or minimum of around 2 acres. Hiyo ni utafiti ambao imefanywa, na kulingana na utafiti inawezekana. Juncao ina grow to heights of 7 meters high. It's one of the magic grass. At a height of 7 meters inatumika upande wa propagation, na at the height of 2.5 meters ndio inatumika upande wa normal harvesting, wakati crude protein yake inafika around 18.6. The crude protein is an essential aspect in Juncao that normally assists our dairy cows to yield so much production in milk, around 40 to 30%. So if you start feeding your cattle, dairy cattle, using Juncao grass, at least in maximum or a minimum of 2 months, you'll be able to see the yield in production. Maziwa inaongezeka. Kama ulikuwa ng'ombe yako inakupatia 16 liters and you start feeding it Juncao, you're looking at going around 30 to 32 liters. So that's an advantage to most of our farmers in the dairy sector. Na pia inatumika in fattening our beef cattle. I understand most of the farmers are somehow pastoralists. We are looking at modernizing the system of farming in terms of zero grazing. Unapata kwamba at some time as a pastoralist tunakuanga na mifugo mingi, na labda ile eneo tumefeed nyasi. It's okay. Yes.
My name is Harit.
Yes. Yes.
So my fear is maybe some guys may not get in the English.
Okay. So at least tusaidiane.
Anaweza sema kwa Kiswahili.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sasa hii ndo itakuja kwako.
Let me repeat now.
Yes, let me just say. Yes. Nice. Thank you.
Oscar waxaa lahaa Juncao waxaa laga keenay Japan, China. Halk acre wuxuu quudin karaa 20 naf oo lo' bilaad ah. Dairy animals. Looda caadiga ma aha. 20 ama 200 oo naf oo ari ah waxaa ku filan 1 acre.
Yes. Pia crude protein yake it's to 18.6.
18.6 maadada dhaho crude protein oo nafaqada oo lagu cayiriyo xoolaha 18 iyo 6 waa xisaab oo loogu talagalay waaye. Markuu jiro the height for harvesting is what
2.5
markuu jiro 2 meter iyo bar markaas xoolaha loo guraya oo la siinaya. For propagating is what
for propagation is 7 meters.
Markuu 7 meter uu joogo markaas waxa loo isticmaalayaa in la sii abuuro. Marka rabto in abuur ka rabto waxa way 7 meter markuu gaaro waa sii qawaxi oo kale. It's like a Kent.
Yes, like Napier. Yeah, like Napier, normal Napier.
Si Napier oo kale waay uu go'an yahay. Marka rabto in ka dhigato abuur markuu gaaro 7 meter aan hadda waxaan jiraa 2 meter 7 meter I'm almost 2 meters
Yes.
So 7 meter marka uu baxo marka aad rabto in abuur ka sii rabto, laakiin hadda rabto in xoolaha siisato waa 2 meter iyo bar.
Yes. Alafu upande wa Juncao haitumii fertilizers. Tunatumia manure na maji peke yake. So it's very organic.
Oskan wuxuu isticmaalaa digaag
organic manure ile manure
wax fertilizer oo lagu daray ma leh, marka waa shay dabiici oo daabo u baahan.
Yes. Alafu Juncao imetumika China as the best substrate ya farming in terms of fodder, na Kenya tunataka pia tusaidie farmers Tumezoea ile nyasi ya kawaida ya hay, hii ya kawaida ambayo inamea kwa shamba, lakini tukiwa na hii system ya Juncao tunaweza zero graze. So wanyama wako hawana ile nafasi ya kuwapeleka mbali wakitafuta nyasi. Nyasi utakuwa una harvest kwa shamba, unawaletea wanakula, production is very well, you can manage the animals, na hiyo inasaidia farmers to invest more kwa farming Juncao.
cawska waxaa la dhahaa Juncao marka waxaa loo isticmaalaa zero graze waxaa waaye xoolihii ebel soconayeen oo daranayeen daaqa hal meel baa sida loo graze hal meel baa lagu quudinaa marka wuxuu ku fiican yahay wuxuu maaragtay xoolaha ay ka helayeen caano fara badan up to 40 liters.
Yes, 40.
halkii nafkii waxaa laga yaabaa inuu keeno 40 liter.
Yes.
Gelo la siiyo cawskan.
Na Juncao pia inatumika kama chakula ya kuku na samaki. So kama upande wa kuweka kuku na samaki inakuwa pia vizuri kwa hiyo biashara.
Waan maqashana amalayna digaag iyo malalay ninka afana xanaaneysanayo waa la siin karaa cawskas.
Aya, alafu Juncao inakuwa one of another system tunatumia in terms of silage. There's a new system of preservation of grass which is called silage making. Silage you can be able to harvest the Juncao grass and bale it. Kuna ile bales sijui kama mmeona, nilikuwa nilete sample bales, but sisi hatutumii molasses. Juncao normally has a natural taste ya sukari ambayo inajitumia yenyewe tu as natural as it is, ina preserve for more than 2 to 3 years. Ndio maana ukifeed Juncao to the dairy cattle si lazima utumie ile mawe ya chumvi kupatiana taste ya kukula nyasi. Already iko na natural taste yake ya sukari. So utapata ukipatia wanyama nyasi, our livestock the normal grass na hii ya Juncao, they'll prefer to eat Juncao sababu it has a very nice taste.
marka cawskan waxaa loo isticmaalaa waxa la dhaho baling waa cawska.
Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes.
waxaa loo isticmaalaa bayla waxa cawska la duduba in aragteen ma ogi cawska intii la duduba oo bayling la dhaho iyo silage way kala yihiin two. Baling and silage are different.
This guy is also called Adam.
Yes, Adam.
He's also from Damascus.
Okay.
So also we have some farmers from here.
Yes.
But that one will be them
Later. Okay. So
You said
Thank
when
you.
you are making the silage,
Yes.
you not include the
you don't use the molasses sababu iko na natural.
markii la hagaajinayo what do you call silage waxaa la caws baa la qaadi dhulka la gelin markaad caws badan haasato laylon baa lagu duubi iskurgur yaa lagu duubi marka hadhow markaa u baahato abaarti yaa soo baxsani marka wuxuu leeyahay cawskan uma baahno baashan la iskurgur in la geliyo asagana naftiisa qaba caraf oo xoolaha ay jecel yihiin.
Yes, na Juncao pia inamea kwa mchanga yote. Inamea kwa volcanic soil, kwa red soil, kwa black cotton soil, mali yoyote, mchanga yoyote inamea.
waa maqlaysin after wax lagu sheegay carrada nooc kasta uu ka baxaa cawskan. Haday carro madow taho, carro cadaday taho, carro seel, carro nooc kasta uu ka baxaa.
So for that reason, Juncao, us as a Juncao team, we are promoting Juncao for our livestock farmers so that they can be able to invest more, because there is more investment in livestock farming. For a very long time, we've not invested a lot in farming. Right now that we have a fodder crop that we can grow that yields very fast with very high crude protein, we can be able to face the challenge of having our livestock have enough fodder.
Cawskan waxaa la cudyaar ka noqon karaa 2 bilood. Marka wuxuu aad ugu fiican yahay maaragtay xoolaha. Marka in badan wuxuu dhahay dawladda waxay xoog siinaysaa beerahan abuurka kale. Laakiin hadda oo la helay caws noocan oo kale ah, waxaan rabnaa xoogga saarno dhaqaalaha xanaanada xoolaha, kuwa oo caanaha keenayeen iyo kuwa hilibka labadaba.
Yes. So upande wa leo ningetaka muniulize maswali yote kuhusu Juncao. Tuko na around 50 acres tumepanda Nakuru, na hiyo tumepanda Juncao peke yake. Tuko na project Lodwa tumepanda around 60 acres Juncao peke yake. Makueni tuko na around 80 acres yote tumepanda Juncao. Tuko na Nakuru tumechukua another 500 acres sahi. tumehire on lease na tunapanda Juncao.
All this is for bulking or?
Mostly for silage and also for propagation.
Okay.
Yes.
marka inta soo magaalada uu sheegay kulli wuxuu dhahay waxaan ku abuurnaa Oscars inaan ka hagaajino silage waxa waa midka hadda aan sheegay Oscar maartay markii abaarta u baahato aad isticmaalayso marka waxaan hadda rabaa in wixii alla wixii su'aal oo qabtiin oo ku saabsan Oscar waxa la dhahaa Juncao na weydiisin Juncao.
Even hapa Garrisa tuko na shamba iko hapa ukienda na side ya huku chini around 50 acres lakini wakati kulikuwa na ile shida ya flooding mbegu yote ilibebwa na mvua lakini tunapanda from starting January tutapanda tena, we'll have a demo there. Farmers watakuja waone Juncao. Iko na hii side ukienda hii barabara.
Abarod?
Yes.
He says huda meesha tankulana konton acre. ما بيها ما قاعد ما كنت بيشي كوالد قالوا عن عمرنا عسكر marka wixii su'aal waqtin weydiya.
So kulingana na mali tumefikia, ningetaka kama wana maswali kuuliza ya Juncao tuweze kusaidiana because at the end of the day us as farmers we know the burden of feeding our livestock and fodder is very essential and in the next 2 years hata kiangazi kikuja wakati tuko na Juncao tumepanda kulingana na ile ardhi tuko nayo iwe kidogo iwe mingi tusipitie the same challenge ya kupoteza livestock again. This should be at least a solution.
marka wuxuu si abaaraha aan oo gaashaamno waa ina arintan aan ku dadaalno insha Allah taala marka ninka qabo su'aalna ha ay weydiiyo.
Yes.
Now is open for questions.
Yeah.
su'aal ninka qabo ha weydiiyo. May I ask you the first question?
Yes, please.
This fodder is mostly energy giving.
Yes, it's a hybrid.
Do you intercrop it with a legume?
You can intercrop it with any crop, hata kama ni chakula ingine.
For example, we are used to Napier.
Yes.
Napier we normally intercrop with a legume.
Yes.
Supplement.
Yes. Or wakati you're feeding.
Yes.
Okay.
So for this one, will this one suffice or you need to intercrop with a...
Juncao, you can feed it naturally, like the normal feeding of grass. Yes.
So no, grass is energy giving.
Yes.
So do you need to intercrop with a legume?
Yes.
For it to be more palatable or... That's my question.
Kulingana na minerals ambazo ziko available kwa Juncao, crude protein ndo tumeangalia sana to be around 18.6, but also the other minerals available for energy content and for all the other nutritious nutritious levels that are required to feed the livestock are very available. We have done the test with Kefis. We've been approved to have Juncao farming for all the farmers. They can be able to grow. It offers the best and it's actually the superior intercrop for hybrid Napier in difference with other varieties that we have. We have other varieties of grasses kama pangchong, brasharia, iko super Napier, iko nyingine, ziko kadhaa. But kulingana na ile lab test tumefanya, Juncao mostly offers the superior. And superior, we're looking at the benefits. Benefits sasa ni ile ya kumea kwa mchanga yote, kulingana na temperatures, climates ya yoyote. And it's also been voted by the UN as a solution to alleviating poverty and desertification. Meaning that in desert areas where there is no crops growing or anything, you can be able to plant Juncao and it will grow very well as long as there's water and manure.
Okay.
Yes.
عسكر عسكر الله صحيح الله كارس اسمع الله حلو مسك حصل الله صحيح
هذا واحد ركز على شيء
عن هذا عسكر سيد بيك الناس اللي كانوا كانوا
He's asking you
Yes.
whether how you can get about the planting material.
Yes, the planting materials are available nowadays. Tuko na ile courier system.
Okay.
Hata sasa ukimake an order tunauza 20 bob per stem cut. Stem cut moja Juncao ina yield the branches almost 40 to 60. One stem gives
So
you
each one is 20.
Yeah,
Each one is 20.
Yes, one stem cut is 20
So
bob.
if somebody orders, you can get through the courier.
Yes, you can get the courier, itatumaniwa kwako. Kama uko Garissa, uko mahali popote, itakufikia.
Hawdahay halkii waxaa laga siiyaa hashi qawaaxi basi qawaax oo kale waa 20 shilin. Marka waxaa lagu soo dirayaa parcel sidii hadda parcel lagu soo diray. Hadaa order garaysto marka la soo helaysa. Martabana ay wada.
The other question is,
Yes.
You have mentioned the chicken.
Yes, and
Also
fish.
fish.
Yes.
How are we going to feed that this
Grass. Yes, that's a good question. We have a specialized machinery that is used to grind and mill the grass into powder so as to now accommodate the fish to eat it in terms of powder form, or even the chicken to eat it in terms of powder form. It's actually a system of assisting the feeding design and model for the chicken and the fish. They can depend on other feeds, but once you have the grass available, they can also use it as one of the fodder. Yes.
ما لو متر بروي marka loo meter bar u yaho oo markii hore isticmaalayeen ama kedsari sax way maya sideed iyo bar markaa rabto waa markii aad rabto inaad sii abuurto oo abuur ugu talagashay 2 mitir iyo bar waa markii aad keedsan rabto ama aad siisan rabto xoolaha
markaas 7 mitir u yahay qaybta hore waa ka dhigi kartaa buurta stage baalka ay ka taagtay.
So he's asking, at what stage do I use it for preservation or for feeding the livestock? Is it at 2.5 meters or at 7 meters?
At 2.5.
So
7 meters ni wakati ile mbegu imekoma for propagation. Yes.
Marka 7 meter u yaho marka waxa isticmaal kartaa abuur kale. Harata inaad sii gadato ama abuur ka dhigato. Marka waxa gaadaysaa 7 meter.
7 meters.
Yes.
Apart from the stem, I can't use that grass for feeding.
You can use it also fully at even that 7 meters ikiwa na grass yake na hiyo stem, but the CP now will not be 18.6. Mostly at 18.6 is 2.5 meters when at least iko na hiyo highest. But sasa ukifeed at around 7 meters, now it will give you at average of 15.7, the CP.
Nasema He says watering when you are growing the fodder.
Yes.
The frequency of
water.
Yes.
Yes. Maji, water is very consistent and should be consistent and is very important in growing Juncao. Although the reason why they call it the magic grass, its root system, mizizi yake ina grow almost to a depth of 2.5 meters kushuka chini. Sasa hiyo 2.5, it normally assists in conserving the moisture from the ground level and also attracting water sources from within. And it's also one of the important, another important aspect is when you grow Juncao, any crop that grows next to Juncao, it will yield more because Juncao roots mostly pull the minerals from the downward ground inaileta hadi juu. So it also makes the soil around it more fertile.
So the water frequency you say?
Water frequency when you are growing it or planting it during the stem cut. So when you are planting it, let's say evening from 6, at least every day. Ikisha sprout, now you can minimize on the water, but water is very important. So if you don't have water, you can either drill a borehole or maybe have an irrigation system if you now want to be harvesting every 2 months. Ukitaka kuharvest at least every 2 months, you go 2.5 meters, at least maji ikuwe available.
Very frequent.
Yes, at least.
Markasta waa inaa waraabiso biyaha.
Once a week, once a month.
That's what they want.
Ina depend na venye inakuwa. Unajua maybe kumekuwa na mvua, inabidi upunguze maji. Mvua ni tamu. So irrigation ni muhimu at least twice a week kulingana na venye na grow.
Laba jar week.
Kama ground iko wet enough, it's okay. Yeah.
هذا نحط حديث لو متر يبرو فاصل قلي اها مع عبد الله سؤال ما قبل سؤال ياك رقم
Yes. Juncao is pests.
خمسة
Jun-
تابون ميتنج
Juncao is pests and disease free because it doesn't have flowers. That's why mostly when I'm selling you the stem cut as a propagation system to avoid it having the flowers, doesn't have flowers. So chances of it being affected by pests and diseases are very minimal.
مغلسين واحد جروك كل عمله ليه واحد جروك او مله
Free.
ها ويجي ولا بجر ايه
Yes.
كيجي ذات نفك كيجين exotic or
Okay, the statistics was done for harvesting. 1 acre gives you 180 metric tons per year.
1 acre.
Yes, 1 acre.
1 acre gives you
180 metric tons. Yes, and 80 metric tons per acre. Yes, for 20 cows or 200 goats or 200 sheep, it can be able to feed them very well.
And I